Hi, this is Mark Frechette from Georgetown County School District, and I just wanted to create a follow-up video to the first one of creating breakout rooms using our Google Meet link inside of Google Classroom. So after the video, I've actually received a lot of great questions from teachers on basically the ability of the teacher and the abilities of the students inside of this. So I'm just going to kind of show you a user experience. And on this side, you're going to see that I am a teacher in a classroom. You'll notice that I have the grades option up here. On this side, I'm actually a student. I'm going in with my son's account and I'm in the same class. And you'll notice it's a student account because, again, he doesn't have those additional teacher features. He doesn't have the grades and he also doesn't have the settings gear over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to join. I created those breakout rooms. They're down here and I posted them. I'll go ahead and click on that Google document. You will see that, again, I have links to several different breakout rooms. Again, I created those breakout rooms as a teacher in the first video, showed you how to do that based off of this right here. So if you need to know how to set up your breakout rooms, refer back to that first video. I'm going to go ahead and in as the teacher though, and I'm going to join this meeting. And again, if you recall, the teacher in Google Meet has to join first. Great safety feature. And so right now I have joined this meeting first as the teacher. If I tried to do that with my son and join into a meeting with his account before the teacher, it wouldn't allow him in. So now I'm going to click on this, and actually I have that same document open here. And I'm going to go ahead and join as my son. So I'm going to click. I'm going to hit join now. And so this is going to be the crazy part. Don't look at the screen right now because you're going to get lost in all of the different displays. Basically because I'm sitting at the same computer in dual accounts and it's using the same camera. On this side is the student. On this side is the teacher. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the people option just to kind of help clarify this. And I'll do the same for the student side of things. So you can see the options here. You'll notice on this side that, again, this says it's me. On this side, it says this screen is my son. So one of the questions is, can students go ahead and can they present without the teacher's permission inside of Google Meet? So I'm going to come over on this side and I'm going to show you that. Let me hide this notification. I'm going to show you, once I close this, that as a student, I can click present now and I can go ahead, click on this and I can hit present. On my teacher side, you will see that, again, I now see my son's account as the student 2 times. Essentially, I see one as his presentation screen, and then I see him as the student. So as the teacher, I do have controls to where I can click on this and I can come down to remove from the meeting. So I can stop him from presenting his screen. And when I do that, it gives a dialog box and it says if this person is removed, they will not be able to join the meeting again. And again, you saw that I'm actually removing his presentation. So to me, this is kind of misleading because if I hit remove, my son can still come back over and he can hit present again. Maybe he's just really excited about sharing some information. But again, he can do that. Again, as the teacher, I can come back over, I can click on this and I can hit remove. It will take his sharing abilities away. I do want to show you that as a student, before I do this next part, my son cannot come in and he cannot remove me. So I just want to let you know that he can't remove me at all. So I'm going to go ahead. And again, that was my son's side. So over on the teacher side, we just noticed how, again, the student can go ahead, they can present their screen and the teacher can go ahead and they can dismiss or I guess kick them off of that presentation screen. Now let's say that I want to totally remove my son from this meeting because that's a lot of times the questions that we have is if a student gets kicked out or if a teacher kicks them out of a Google Meet, can they get back in? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you the answer to that. if I as a teacher come over here and I remove my son for whatever reason, and I click on remove, you'll notice then that on his screen, it says you've been removed from this meeting. If my son chooses to, and I'm just going to close this, if he wants to go ahead and he clicks on this and he comes back to that same link and he says, well, I want to join this meeting. And he clicks on that code and he comes in and he hits join. It's going to say, you can't join this video call. So he can no longer, because I kicked him out, he can no longer enter this room. The next question I had was, okay, so if that works, how long is he kicked out for of that room? Well, essentially, since I kicked him out of this link, he is not allowed back into that link at all. So the downside is, for me, I now have to do a little bit more work as a teacher, because if I want my son to join back into this same Google Meet right here, I have to go ahead and change that link. So I would have to regenerate this breakout room in order to allow my son back in. And it's not really that hard. I showed you in the first video, and I think it was about 5 minutes long with my explanation. So I can go back in and do that. The important part of this, and the message I hope you see, is that once you remove a student from a Google Meet, they cannot get back into that Meet. And someone asked me, they said, okay, so that is okay as far as this goes, as far as the breakout rooms go. But now what if a student is in the main Google Meet? What do we do about that? So I'm going to show you that. If I go to the main Google Meet and I open this up and I hit join, and I do the same thing over here for my son's account, and I click join. And again, I know this is confusing, but I'm going to show you the people just so you can see the difference. I'm going to go ahead right now and I'm just going to remove my son because I showed you the examples earlier. So I'm going to remove him from this meeting. He is now removed from the main Google Meet in my classroom, meaning if he comes back in and he clicks on this, he is not going to be able to join that meet. So as a teacher, what I need to do then is, once I want to go ahead and allow him back in, I'm going to have to, after I end this call and I come down, I'm going to have to basically reset this code. So I'm just going to show you full screen on this, how I can do that. If I come to right over here to the settings on the right and I scroll down, you will see that it shows my Meet. And here is my Meet link for the class. All I have to do to reset that code is click this and hit reset. And what it's going to do is it's going to regenerate a new room. And once I've done that, I just go back out to the main page. And now again, this is different. So let me close my other Google Meets here. You'll notice that on my son's side, this changed as well. It just did. So if I go in, and let me try to join this first as a student, just to show you. And it says you can't create a meeting yourself. So he's back. Now I'm going to go into the teacher side. I'm going to join this Meet. And if you remember, it looks like it's the same spot, the same link for all of my students. However, all I did was hit reset behind the scenes. I'm going to hit join now as the teacher. And now I'm going to go in as my son. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on this link. And now my son is able to go ahead and join back into that Google Meet. So if for whatever reason you have to remove a student from a Google Meet, and let me do this because that's kind of weird. If you ever have to do that and you don't want to make a big deal out of it for anybody else, remember, you can just go behind the scenes, click on this wheel, come down here, click on the drop-down arrow, and hit reset. And that will go ahead and reset this code. No one's going to see that. Every student's going to come back here and join it just like they did, and they'll be allowed in. So good luck with this and great questions.